The San Francisco 49ers have made their first round of roster moves. Let's get into it. We also had a bunch of players returning to practice, some notable ones and some notable ones still not practicing. We'll get into that as well. But let's talk about some of the roster moves that have went down because as you guys know, the 49ers will be getting down to the 53 man roster by Tuesday at 1 p.m. And this is how they got started. The 49ers have waived both their quarterbacks, Carter Bradley and Tanner Mordecai. Um, this is what I've projected so far. I only believe that the 49ers would keep two quarterbacks. Typically, they've kept three in years past, but this year they keep two because I think they have two extremely strong candidates in Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. The 49ers have also released running back Keyshawn Vaughn, who was signed after they had some injuries in training camp. He's a guy who's been with the 49ers a couple times over, so it's a seamless kind of transition for them to bring him on. Also notable that it wasn't Jeff Wilson Jr. I think Jeff Wilson has really reacclimated himself very well with the Niners. He seems like he would be a great practice squad guy, a great veteran to have in that potential role right there on your P squad if you needed him. The 49ers also waived defensive lineman Jalen Allen. Honestly, he's been decent. He's a lot of speed. He's not going to be one of your base down edge players, but you know, if he goes back to the practice squad, wouldn't be opposed to it. And then the 49ers also waived Shaquille Brown. He was only brought on due to the rash of injuries that they had occurred, so nothing too crazy there. And the 49ers have placed offensive lineman Isaiah Prince on injured reserve. Isaiah Prince was signed during training camp. He's a guy that, at best, is a practice squad guy. I don't even know if he will earn a practice squad spot. He hasn't been too impressive with his time with the San Francisco 49ers, so we'll see what they do in that regard. Um, but the 49ers also did get some guys back at practice today. Defensive end Mykel Williams. Mykel's been out for a while. He went down in the joint practice with a hyperextended knee. It was a really scary moment when it had happened, but it does sound like, or we have seen actual visuals of Mykel Williams back at practice, so that is phenomenal. Another defensive tackle who's back at practice, CJ West. Two rookies who are going to be relied on heavily this year, they're back, so that is good news. Safety Richie Grant, cornerback Fabian Moreau, quarterback Mac Jones is back, an offensive lineman Ben Barch. So that's pretty solid as well because Ben Barch is slated to be your starting left guard. You know, they did toy with Connor Colby and Nick Zakel rotating in at that position. But I do think if the 49ers are going to go into the season, I think they would be best suited with Ben Barch starting at left guard and obviously Dominic Pooney at right guard. No Dominic Pooney today for obvious reasons. He's still dealing with the knee injury, but we did get that. And of course, one of the more notable appearances at practice today was Brian Robinson Jr. wearing number 30 for the San Francisco 49ers, who will come in and be that RB2. So that's pretty cool to see. Apparently, no Demarcus Robinson at practice today. We do know he will be suspended for 3 games, and he had that touchdown in that preseason game that we just had. But an interesting situation developing there. I don't know why Demarcus Robinson isn't at practice. Also, Kalia Davis not practicing today, apparently working on the side field. Upton Stout continues to work on the side as well. So the unfortunate situation with Upton Stout, who is having one of the best camps, I would say, out of any players, let alone rookies. He was probably having the best rookie camp, but he was just having just a phenomenal camp. And he goes down with a calf, and we haven't seen him return since. He was definitely slated to be the starting nickel. So we'll have to see if he will be healthy and ready to go by the time the season starts? The answer is hopefully. But as you can see, the 49ers have made their first roster moves to get closer to the final 53. Nothing too crazy or unexpected here, um, as they made moves on 7 players. But I do anticipate we'll start to get some more uh, interesting developments as the roster gets closer to the final 53. The 49ers are having their final practice before the roster cut down, so it does give them the opportunity to have one more look at these players to be able to see if any of these guys are worthy of roster spots. So I don't know. I wonder if there's any guys working out there today who have a chance to just show one last time that they deserve a roster spot. I do think that there isn't a ton of wiggle room on this roster. The 49ers might add some players from the outside. Not really sure. But ultimately, at the end, I'm a big fan of Drew Moss. He has an uphill battle making this roster for sure. I did my final 53-man projection. You can actually go watch that on the channel if you want. I had him making it, but that's, again, more of my 53-man roster projection. If I had to guess, I would assume that the 49ers are going to try to get him to go to the practice squad just because of the way the numbers are bearing out. It doesn't bode well for Drew Moss. And I think they might opt to keep someone like Sebastian Valdez, the undrafted free agent defensive tackle, over a Drew Moss because, you know, I think they need as much help on the defensive line as possible. And based on the way the 49ers have been treating the rotation, they have Moss at kind of the back end of options to potentially come in and fill in at guard. So we'll see if he beats the odds and makes the roster. I'm really not thinking he will, and unfortunately I do think Drew Moss has a strong chance of being claimed on waivers. So it'll be a tough one, but I'm preparing for it. You should probably prepare for it. If he makes it, I would be a bit of a surprise, but we'll see. Um, we'll see what it looks like in the end. Um, but yeah, those are some of the initial roster moves, some of the things that are happening at the last 49ers practice before the final cut down. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Drop it in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.